So, Tobin, I got to ask you. All right, you got that great voice going on this morning. You said you're doing some voice. What did you do? Voice exercises? Because I have this nasally voice that I got going on here.
Yes.
So
Before
tell me.
I sing, if you go full just all crazy, you will crack your voice and you'll get it sore. So one of the things that I like to warm up with is the horse noise. The horse noise, like and do it, and have fun with it. And
Okay.
it's just something that, you just kind of start out a little bit lighter and then work your way up.
And how long? And this is serious actually, because I'm trying to improve things that I can improve, which is the quality of my voice. But so how long do you do the neighing or the horse thing for?
I don't really keep track, I just kind of keep on doing it, and I start singing words that are just kind of like nonsensical, or
Right.
um you know even sometimes saying like the alphabet and stuff like that, A
Okay.
through G, and I do it until it just feels good,
All
and
right.
you get that while you're like sitting there warming up, and then you can hit that spot where you know you've been talking so long, and then you get that little inch and you want to go like
Yes.
do that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just keep on playing with my voice until I've worked that out.
Okay. John Hudson's here with us too.
Awesome.
Hey,
What's up, John?
I got to go into town, pick up some dog food.
Okay, dude. You seem healthy. You look good. You're choppy as fuck. I'm gonna say that. I think you're now in some kind of Bermuda Triangle of the internet with the choppiness.
The
But you're
internet
looking
sucks
good.
here.
The internet sucks. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad to see that you're healthy, that you look good, and that hey, Randolph Richardson's in the house. What's up, Randolph? Hope you're doing good this morning. Hope you're doing well this morning.
Tobin talking about his songs. Love them.
Talking about getting the voice right, getting the voice done right.
It's kind of
Getting
like, I know you bitches love my bitches. I know you bitches love my bitches.
on, dude. You were at an 11 this morning, brother. You're at an 11.
I told Tobin he needs to start out one of his videos with me screaming that, and then go to a real song.
Wow, wow. Um, and this is what I've discovered from being on the internet and working with other people too, is that I can never match the other person's energy when they're in this state. Like when Jimmy Lou's on the channel, or when I'm on another channel with Jimmy Lou, it's like I do not try to match his energy. I just try to just be myself. That's it, man.
Go at your own pace.
Indeed.
Shit, the energy's gone by 10 o'clock, though, so.
Oh, I understand. That's why, yeah, that's why this coffee, at least for me, this is the way how I cope and try to keep my energy levels up during the day. Oh
So
man,
is talking about warming up there. The horse
yeah,
sound. What was that?
the horse sound, right? Tobin, I don't want to put you on the spot, brother, but can you give us an example of what the horse sound sounds like?
Giddy up.
It kind of changes. It's kind of morphed through time.
Right, right.
But it's just making sounds that are kind of like that sounded like a greasy fart right there.
It did. It did. Too much Taco Bell for you.
Hey, you better go in for a rewipe.
Man.
But yeah,
So,
it's just making sounds that are fun to make, and just getting your vocal cords warmed up.
all right, all right. Maybe I should do that before the show. That'll be fascinating, right? I'll try that out and see what happens.
Me, 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 me.
Well, I just want to say that I have next week off from work. So, because I'm transitioning from one job to another, I'm going from one job to another. So, I have next week off. And next week, I am dedicating myself just to creating videos, writing bits, because I haven't been able to. I've been able to do this show, I've been able to do the blog, but I haven't been able to focus on the other projects I've been wanting to do. And so, without being burdened with work for next week, I'll be able to focus. And actually, it looks like it's going to be really good too. And not just the material, but my schedule, because I'm going to be doing that overnight job starting in like a month from now. So I'll have my days free at least, so I can focus on decent, like video production, and or at least for me, practicing with different techniques. And so that should be, starting in earnest in like a month from now. But for the next week or so, starting next week, I'll be playing around with different things, different songs. Right? I know we were talking about doing something, Tobin, and I will actually have time to do it, as against to me putting out fires and getting stuff. Yeah, just doing the day-to-day grind.
I don't know where you find the fucking time, Andy.
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I was up at 2:00 this morning, John Hudson.
You got to make that time. You got to make it.
Yeah.
I actually took some ibuprofen, Tylenol, and a shot of NyQuil. I fucking got over 6 hours last night.
Wow, dude, that's good. That's good. If you can get, yeah. So I went to bed at 10, got up at 2. I did some reading, did some in-depth internet research, which basically means how can Andy crack the algorithm? And because I actually spent a fair amount of time in trying to figure that out, because I've been somewhat successful on the blog. I've been kind of successful here doing shorts. And so I'm always researching on how to crack the algorithm. And then I went back to sleep for 2 hours, and here I am.
I'm just waiting for you to fucking explode, dude. You're the wittiest thing on the internet.
Oh, thank you. I try to be. I just try to be myself, because that's what comedians do. We just try to be ourselves for all intents and purposes. And doing this every day is actually great practice for me, because the more that you do something, the better you're going to be at it, probably, more or less.
Yeah, I really, I'm not sure if people are actually born with natural talents. It's just they were exposed to it and they were allowed to do said thing at their own fruition, like as much as they wanted. And that's why there are certain people who are like really good at things, not because they're really born with it. It's just they just played with it a whole bunch.
Yeah. That's a good question. That's the nature versus nurture question. And what's funny?
I can build anything.
You can build anything? Yeah, John Hudson. I understand your. Yeah, like John Hudson and I, we have two very different.
That's what I've done.
Yeah. So for me, at least, I think, like I said, I've been doing it. I've been doing this kind of thing on YouTube, at least, for only a year, a little bit over a year, but on the blog with the writing, that's been, like I said, it has to be a decade at this point, more than a decade. So you just figure out, you get better. You figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Well, I've been one to always tell people to fuck off, and I'm really good at it.
That's good, John Hudson. That's good.
It's a life skill.
That is a life skill. So John, I remember when you weren't feeling good, you're like, I'm never leaving this house again, or I'm not leaving this plot of land. It sounds like you're willing to go back into the world to get,
I'll triple mask, and I'm fuck. Thanks for the anxiety, Andy.
John, I have to tell you something, dude. I end up in any friendship or relationship I've been in, I'm usually the person who pumps the brakes. I'm the person who goes, "Really? Is this what we're doing?" I'm sorry.
Dude, the anxiety just, oh God. I feel like I want to go puke now after you saying
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying it. I yeah, I'm
I got
sorry.
this. I got this. Man, because more than anything, I want to go see live music,
Yeah.
but I don't think anybody's gonna fucking put on a whole fucking concert for me. You know, though, I probably would have the enthusiasm as 100,000 fans.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I was trying to think of ways of gaming this system. So, the Commonwealth Shakespeare Society here in Massachusetts, here in Boston, they do this free Shakespeare stuff on the park, and and it's free, of course, but they were doing tickets to make sure they only had a set amount of people in the park within a like cordoned off area. And I was talking to my girlfriend. It's like, you know what? If we make enough accounts, maybe we can get all the tickets, and that'll just be us.
Brilliant
And she goes, "That will never work." No, but it's interesting to contemplate, isn't it?
ideas. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's I've heard some artists complain in the past because the musicians, because their shows were getting sold out, and it's because there was people who were buying up all the tickets. They were scalping them, basically,
yeah,
selling them. But then it would get to the end of the show, end of the night, or the beginning of the night, and the place wouldn't be filled up, and then the artist would be like, eh, it's
yeah.
not
That sucks.
full, it's not full capacity.
Yeah, and it's important. Having a full capacity crowd is important for a lot of types of art, right? Because you have a lot of energy in the crowd, and it gets things cranking. And yeah, if you got like half a house or less than a full house, that could really bring the party down. Here comes Dr.
One
Tomfoolery.
one of the best shows I ever saw was Alejandro Escovedo in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
You need to YouTube him. If you
It
haven't seen
sounds
him,
like a
he's
great
fucking
story,
phenomenal.
John, man. But I tell you, brother,
Probably had
it's
showed
just
up.
chopping up like a Ginsu knife on one of those late night commercials there, right?
I'm gonna run out then.
Okay, it's good seeing you. I'm glad that you're doing well.
Later, John.
See you, Tub.
Yeah, me and John have actually started working on a little song, and Sammy as well has been brought in on it. Like, I'm waiting to hear some vocals, and then I think I'm gonna put some guitar to it. But we've started playing around with some stuff too. I'm really I really would like to do some collaborations with everybody,
Sammy's got that
even
voice, man.
beyond. What was that?
Sammy's got that voice.
Yeah, he does. I know. I felt like bad that I did not like really look at his channel and explore it more whenever I first got introduced to his channel, and then I started going through it, and I just recently found out that he sings, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah. Dr. Tomfoolery, cryptology vagabond.
Hey,
Where
Dr. Kennard. I just woke up.
you just woke up. All right. Do you have any new journeys of vagabonding? So, I have to tell you, one of the reasons why I'm able to produce so much content is that, and I think you can appreciate this, Tobin, right? Because you have kids, is that my kids are older now. And I realize that I spend a lot of energy and time doing kids stuff with my kids when they were younger. And I still have a fair amount of that energy, but now I don't have to spend it on my kids. And so I can now do other stuff. So I still have that. I'm kind of like in a sweet zone, I think, that I still have the energy and I haven't gotten to the age that life crushes me or my health shits out on me. So I still have a fair amount of juice, I guess. Yeah.
I think we're both in the same boat. Um,
Yeah.
my kids are 16 and 18 right now,
Well, dude,
so
yeah,
like,
totally. Totally.
and we still play together and do stuff,
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
but I'm they can take care of themselves. You
The
know?
heavy lifting is over. The heavy lifting is over. You can say that the worst of the heavy lifting or the most effort you have to put in is between up until 5 years old, up until the time they start going to school.
Hmm.
And then because up until the time they go to school, you're basically sleep deprived, or you're crazed, or you're just exerting all of this energy, just keeping them alive, making sure they don't lick light sockets or doing something like that, right? That's what you're spending your time doing. Get that out of your mouth. Don't eat the paint chip. Don't do stuff like that. Ian Davenport, glad to see that you're here.
Yeah.
Ian in the chat.
I have no kids. I just have nibblings.
They're just called nibblings. Yeah.
I just have some nibblings. No kids of my own.
Okay. Well, you got a cat. I know that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she's fairly self-sufficient.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, my girlfriend's never had kids, and nor has she ever wanted kids. And it's like, yeah, that's really important for me.
Yeah, like that little adventure, I'm done with that as well myself. Like I actually made sure that's it.
Talk me through this, Tobin. Talk me through this, because I still feel fear about getting snipped. Right? I still feel anxiety about this. Should I be? Is this just an irrational fear I have of getting a vasectomy?
Well, I mean, going to any surgery that is, having some kind of anxiety, I could definitely feel you on that. But my experience was, yeah, getting the shots, they give you 2 shots, at least how it worked with me on either side,
Hmm.
and that that stings. The doctor was like, "Don't kick." And I think he knew I was just going to kick anyways. It just felt involuntary. I couldn't even really help it.
Okay.
But he looked like he was prepared for it. And yeah,
Okay.
that's the worst part, is taking the shot. And shots aren't that bad. But
So
that one stings a little bit.
obviously I've known nothing about getting a vasectomy whatsoever. The most I know was when I was talking to my neighbor back in the day, and he told me he got an infection from his vasectomy, and that kind of freaked me out. Yeah, right, dude. That's exactly my look. That was exactly how I responded. So, gosh, Tobin, are you trying to tell me they don't put you under general anesthesia when they're doing the procedure?
No, it's a what do they call it? It's that kind of surgery.
Like a localized anesthesia?
Oh yeah, they give you they numb you in that
A
area.
local numbing? Yeah.
They give you local anesthesia, but it's the type of surgery. Yeah, it's just that one that you go in for the day and it's over
Day surgery.
in a little bit of day surgery. It's over, pretty quickly. And once
They
you get
knocked
the shots, it's not that bad.
they knocked me out when I got my colonoscopy. Yeah, this is great conversation, by the way, if you're watching right now. This is a great conversation. I'm going to talk about my ass probing too. When I got my colonoscopy, at least they put me under, right? I could appreciate that. But yeah, up until this point, I had this concept that if I was going to get a vasectomy, they would at least put me under, but I guess not.
No, yeah, and they just gave me some Tylenol 3, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting
But
people under is dangerous, so if they can avoid it, they prefer to avoid it.
Professor Dr. Tom Foolery, cryptology vagabond. I understand that too, because you see, now I have 2 anxieties, mind you. If if they don't put me under, I'm anxious about that. But oh my fictitious God, if they do put me under, I'm afraid I'm never going to wake up again, or they're going to hit the spine the wrong way, and I'll be You see, there's all this health stuff I have that I'm able, under normal circumstances, to manage and to keep under control.
Yeah.
there
But
are so many variables at play.
yeah.
and Simply Secular Dave says, Andy, it hurts less than most dentistry. Funny thing about me is that I don't have any cavities in my teeth, and I've never had a root canal or a filling or anything like that. So, and even what people endure for dentistry seems to be pretty heroic, worth a ballad or two, at least in my opinion. Randolph Richardson, are you here
Hey,
Canada,
Randolph.
to Canada shame us, Randolph Richardson? Is that because I see the flags, brother? I see the flags. I know the Simply Secular Dave isn't on the show today. He's in and I was wondering if you guys had conspired to Canada shame us.
No, we don't do that. We're more the welcoming types.
Oh, the welcoming types. That's
Yeah.
All right.
It's a Canadian way. So, yeah, I heard you talking about this. I think one thing that's really important to do is to try to select somebody who does a lot of this type of procedure, because they have a lot more experience. Because if you have somebody who selects somebody who's only done a little bit, they may be well regarded, but they haven't seen a lot of variety in different cases, and so there's a greater chance for something to go wrong in that kind of situation. So,
well, that makes sense. You would have I would want to check out someone who does it on the regular
and who's done a lot of it for a long time. They've been doing it for more than 20 years or something, and right. And they're also probably, you want to talk to them and find out. Ask them what the latest research is, and what you want to listen for. I think, like for me, what I would want to listen for is, are they talking about very recent research, or are they actually keeping up to date in the field? Most doctors are.
Yeah, that's my perception. That's my perception, is that most doctors, in fact, they have to in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, well, it makes sense to. I don't know if they're required to. Here in Canada, our GP, she keeps up to date on things, but she has to choose what she's going to keep up to date on, right? So yeah, you want to make sure. I would say you want somebody who is keeping up to date in the field and is also taking an interest in other loosely related fields, so their knowledge is more well-rounded, right?
Yeah.
So, and if they're doing a certain specific kind of surgery and they're doing a lot of it, if they also have some experience doing different types of surgery, that's also good.
I would imagine, because if something goes wrong, then not only are they adept at that particular type of surgery, but a variety of different kind of surgical procedures too.
Yep. So if they're doing that, but they're mainly focusing on a certain type that you want, this is good. You get a specialist who's also not just stuck in a tunnel.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Wise words indeed.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to be seeing
what you're going for. It's not. It sounds like those ones are typically not critical. So this is the kind of thing you can take your time selecting somebody.
Exactly. I'm actually meeting my new physician. I think next month I'm going in. I know it's considered a minor procedure. Black female atheist. I know it's considered to be a minor procedure, and I know that this is irrational. I know that this is irrational. I've had many conversations, and this is how it.
Yeah. Jenna in the chat is pointing out an error that I made. She's saying a vasectomy is not a surgical procedure. Thank you for the correction. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but this is kind of things I'm thinking of. But I guess my sentiments still stand for who to select, right? You want someone with the experience, and yeah.
I have something to say about that. That is for sure. Like in the tattoo world, somebody can be heavy-handed, or they can be like, you can be lighter and still get the job done. And me and Kendra bought tattoo guns, and we've tattooed on each other, and we know what it's like, and we've been around. We've had quite a few people work on us now, so now we know the difference. But yeah, I could see how that would be even with surgery. Like, you don't want somebody who's just started. You want somebody who's been doing this for a while.
Now, the people who just start are generally still quite good. If they're under the supervision of somebody who is quite experienced, that's not a bad thing either.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
everyone needs a first time.
As long as it's on somebody else than me. No offense. People who aren't in the chat, people who aren't there. As long as it's somebody else, right?
So the people who are overseeing them are the ones you want to make sure have the experience.
Right. Indeed. Tobin, I'm intrigued with the fact, and I feel like we might be burying the lead here. The fact that you got a tattoo gun, Kendra got a tattoo gun, and then you proceeded to tattoo each other. How did that turn out?
We did have practice skins. We did get some
That
practice.
just sounds weird, dude. We had practice skins.
Yeah.
Pigskins usually, right?
And also, was this
I actually have a
simultaneous?
synthetic one now.
Oh,
Yeah. Also, since you got two of them, did you do it simultaneously?
No, but that was a thought that was had crossed the minds. But yeah,
Tobin?
we did not get enough practice with that shit. That takes
Tobin, if you two do tattoos on each other simultaneously, you got to put that up on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be a hit.
What's up, Dr. Josh?
I have one tattoo.
Now you got me thinking. Now I'm like, wait a minute.
So I'm intrigued with these practice skins. Are they on like ballistic gel? Because ballistic gel kind of has the consistency of human flesh. So do you put the skin on some kind of gel and then you practice that way?
Yeah, it's like it is like there's like silicone hot pads that people use. I see those quite a bit. It's very similar to that. It's just smooth. And yeah, you could put it around somebody's arm and then have that roundness, messing with that. It's just something that's very similar to our skin.
So if Kendra was here right now, how would she? And you weren't in the room, and she would know that you would never hear her comment. How would she? I know there's a lot of. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. What would she say about the tattoo job you did on her?
No, we have tapped out on each other.
Oh, really?
We said, "Hey, that's it. No, like, stop right there. Like, I can't do anymore." Yeah, we've done it. But we've also had times where it came out, decent, especially for being some people who just got it and read about it.
That's fascinating, dude.
Before I got my tattoo, I looked around at different tattoo places for well over a year, and I was looking for places that were clean. I did some research on it, and I found a lot that weren't clean right off the bat. And then, of course, I wanted to make sure that I had somebody who would understand what I wanted. It took me a long time to decide what I wanted to get. So, I suggest people don't rush into what they choose to get for a tattoo. But some people will do that anyway, and that's fine. It's up to them, right? But this one I got a full color phoenix on my left shoulder for my wife as a birthday gift for her. So yeah, it was a surprise to her, and it's unfortunately not finished because the tattoo artist I selected ended up getting kicked out of the country. He was here on a work visa. He got kicked out based on false accusations, and the problem with people on visas here is they just get kicked out right away. They don't, if there's accusations, usually they don't get this due process. It's unfortunate. And it looks like it was a false accusation. Somebody was just unhappy. And turns out he was quite a busy guy. And one of his clients that paid in advance a non-refundable retainer for the scheduled time that I ended up getting, that guy got caught up in customs somewhere, and there's warrants out for multiple murders for him. So he's not getting his tattoo. So this guy had time, so I filled in that time slot, and it was the timing ended up working out really well. The guy who's doing my tattoo was a real nice guy, and he had some books on his shelf that he was reading and about samurai swords.
Oh, cool.
So I pulled a book off the shelf and just started reading to him. And then after about 20 minutes, he stopped and he, almost tearing up, he said, "You're the only client I've had who's reading my books to me." And I said, "Is that okay?" He says, "Oh, you love it." He was really happy with that. So
Yeah.
it's just, the relationship was really good. So I kind of missed the guy, you know, he was a real neat
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
But there were some of the tattoo places that I looked at, I smelled vomit coming from the back, or there's beer cans lying around,
Yeah.
or there's lines of what I'm going to assume is just lines of sugar on some glass counters. And so those ones, I thought, okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. And a lot of them
Wise.
were pretty clean. These guys used, he opens up the packages right in front of you for the needles and things like that. So it's not reusing stuff. So there's things like that they did that were the right things. So
So, as most of you know, today is Thursday, and I have to bounce out early because I have to go to work. We usually run until 11, but today it's 10:30, and it's 10:30 right now. Everyone, it's hard to believe it is
cheers
already
to you.
10:30.
Congratulations in advance on your new position.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. It should be. It should help me a lot with my time management. So I'm looking forward to it just for that alone. Take care, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for
Later,
hosting
yeah.
this. Take care.